For decades, our imagination has been captured by a truly colossal predator from the ancient world. This creature, known as Spinosaurus, has often been depicted as the ultimate land hunter, a beast even larger and more ferocious than the mighty T-Rex. This is the myth, a bipedal monster stalking prehistoric plains. But the truth is far more complex and more fascinating. The real story is tied to the vast river systems of ancient North Africa. Science is a patient storyteller with a different tale. Early images came from incomplete fossils unearthed over a century ago. Paleontologists filled in gaps using other large theropods. They created a tall, two-legged predator, a terrestrial super-predator. That image was cemented in films and books, but it was a best guess based on limited evidence. Spinosaurus was immense, over 15 meters long. It had a long, narrow snout, not unlike a modern crocodile. Its jaws were lined with conical, unserrated teeth. Those teeth weren't for shearing bone. They gripped slippery prey. And then there's the enormous sail rising from its back. Long vertebral spines formed that distinctive sail. But the myth started to crack as scientists looked closer. The teeth suggested fish. The crocodile-like snout suggested life near water. Its fossils came from a lush, swampy delta teeming with rivers and aquatic life. Those clues whispered that the land monster story was wrong, hinting at a very different lifestyle. The world of Spinosaurus around 100 million years ago was a world defined by water. The fossils are found in what is now North Africa, but back then the landscape was dramatically different. It was a vast and complex network of rivers, estuaries, coastal swamps. Imagine a place similar to the Florida Everglades or the Mekong Delta, but on a much grander scale. This aquatic paradise was teeming with life, not just on land, but especially within the water. The rivers were choked with enormous fish, some the size of a small car, providing an abundant food source. A creature of this size needed a reliable food supply. While other dinosaurs roamed the land, the rivers offered a buffet of large-bodied fish, coelacanths, sawfish. Spinosaurus carved out its own unique domain, not competing with land predators. It was not just living near the water, it was a creature of the water, shaped by the ebb and flow of ancient rivers. Its physical features support this semi-aquatic hypothesis. The long, narrow skull and conical teeth are perfect for snatching fish, like a modern gharial. Its nostrils sat high on the snout so it could breathe while mostly submerged. This adaptation appears in animals that spend time in water: crocodiles, hippos. These anatomical details are evolutionary solutions for aquatic hunting. Each feature points away from land and toward rivers. The famous sail on its back is a scientific puzzle. What was its purpose? Maybe a display, a billboard for mates or rivals, like bird plumage. It could have been visible even when the body was submerged. Maybe it helped thermoregulate, or acted like a dorsal fin, stabilizing the animal while swimming. For many years, the scientific understanding of Spinosaurus was hampered by a tragic loss. The most complete skeleton was discovered by German paleontologist Ernst Stromer. That skeleton was destroyed during a bombing raid on Munich in 1944. For decades, all we had were Stromer's original drawings and a few scattered fragments. That lack of material forced scientists to make educated guesses, which led to the persistent image of Spinosaurus as a land-based predator. But science is a process of discovery, and the story changed in the 21st century. Remarkable new fossils were unearthed in the Kem beds of Morocco. These bones were the missing pieces of a puzzle that would reshape our view. Parts of the skull, limb bones, and most importantly, the tail. The bones were found to be incredibly dense, a condition called osteosclerosis. In living animals, dense bones act as ballast to control buoyancy, manatees, penguins. That was strong evidence Spinosaurus wasn't just wading, it was a capable swimmer, often submerged. The most game-changing discovery was the tail. Previous reconstructions showed a long, thin, tapering tail, but the new fossil, described in 2020, revealed something entirely different. Deep, flattened, with long spines, like a giant paddle. Much like the tail of a newt. This wasn't a tail for balancing on land, it was a propulsive organ. Computer modelling shows that fin-like tail could generate powerful thrust. This evidence forces us to reconsider how Spinosaurus moved and hunted. The old idea of a two-legged hunter stalking prey on land now seems highly unlikely. Dense bones, short hind limbs, and a powerful paddle-like tail paint a picture of an animal more at home in water than on land. It likely propelled itself through deep river channels in search of giant fish. It wasn't just a dinosaur that went for a swim. It may have been the first truly semi-aquatic dinosaur ever discovered. The journey of Spinosaurus from land monster to river hunter is a perfect illustration of the scientific process in action. Science is not a collection of unchanging facts, but rather a dynamic and evolving story. Our understanding is built upon the best evidence available at any given moment. The initial idea of a land-based Spinosaurus was not wrong. It was a logical conclusion based on the incomplete fossil record of the time. It represented the peak of our knowledge in the early 20th century. But science is defined by its willingness to challenge old ideas when new evidence comes to light. The contrast between the old myth and the new science is stark. This shift did not happen because of a single opinion, but because of painstaking fieldwork, the discovery of new fossils, the application of modern technology to analyze them. Each new bone fragment, each new scan, adds a new word or sentence to the story, refining the narrative and bringing us closer to the truth. This process of revision is not a weakness of science, but its greatest strength. It is a built-in mechanism for self-correction. The story of Spinosaurus reminds us that our picture of the deep past is never truly complete. There are always more fossils to be found, more mysteries to be solved. What we think we know today may be revised by the discoveries of tomorrow. This constant state of discovery is what makes paleontology so exciting. It is a grand detective story with clues that are millions of years old, and the case is never truly closed. The tale of Spinosaurus teaches us a valuable lesson about keeping an open mind. A powerful myth can take hold of our imagination, but it is the patient, methodical work of science that can test that myth against reality. The evidence has transformed this dinosaur from a simple monster into a complex and highly specialized animal, more wonderful than we ever imagined. It leaves us with a lingering sense of awe and a host of new questions. As we look at this creature, adapted for life in water, what other incredible secrets are still buried beneath the sands, waiting to change the story once again?